Hey guys, Huz here, bringing you another commentary, this time on Jarvan jungle. One of my favourite junglers. He's kind of in my top 3, I'd say right now, being Lee Sin, Elise and Jarvan. He's kind of a key jungler, if you are a jungler right now in the current meta, in the current flavour of the month, where actually Jarvan's been around a few months now, and I don't really see that changing anytime soon. His gank potential is very high. If you do not play Jarvan in a gank heavy way, then I think you're playing him a little bit wrong. Honestly, because his ganks are very good. Combined with an Orianna, which we do have this game, it leads to very, very good team fights and gank potential. Anyway, the team we are facing up against right now, they have kind of 2 AD carries. After researching their mid laner, it seems that their mid laner was very cheese heavy. He only really played AD carries in mid lane, which honestly isn't that good. AD carries kind of just get crushed by mid lane peoples after a certain point, so yeah, I don't know. It works in low reloads, but when you get to like high diamond or so, then it's not going to work. So you'll see how this game goes. It is a hard lane for Orianna at the start of the game, but eventually you will see it may turn, etc. But anyway, we are running a Caitlyn Thrush bottom lane, Orianna mid, 4 paws on Kennen, as you'd probably recognise, you know, his main champion being Kennen, and me on Jarvan. I picked Jarvan into... I don't know if I picked it into Elise. I think we just first picked Jarvan because I kind of was in the mood to play Jarvan, and then we combined it with the Orianna to give that kind of synergy. Anyway, starting on the blue buff right now, going to do this fairly quickly, throw down the flag, and use the big auto attacks, especially with Jarvan's passive. You know, that first hit does like 10% of the damage on the health. It's very, very big and very, very good. So runes and masteries, I'll quickly go over on Jarvan. Masteries, I go 9-21-0. Fairly tanky, fairly standard, not much to say about that. Obviously going into CDR, then into the AD stuff. And then runes, I'm a bit foggy on exactly what I go, but it's some armor pen in there. Armor pen in reds, I believe, then it's AD Quints, then army yellows, MR blues. I think that's pretty much it. But if you do want to get the exact page, I recommend going my LOL King or looking at my profile onto the client. Now, one thing you will notice that I'm doing, I stopped for the wolves and took the wolves up, and then I'll probably head over to red. Simply because Elise is not good at trading early on, and if I can get this red buff really quickly and then start hitting her, then I may be in a pretty good situation to fight her. But I didn't actually expect her to come in right now, to be honest. I was expecting us to have a little fight up in top lane, so it actually does give her a little bit more health than I expected right now. But she does kind of wait around, and she does actually clear the buff for me, so that's quite nice of her. And my team may start to collapse on her, so I'm going to start fighting her, do the best I can, and well, I thought my team may collapse for me, but right now I'm kind of fighting her by myself, so not the greatest starts, to be honest. She just tries to repel, but unfortunately Ezreal is pushing up the lane in such a way, and got Orianna quite low that he couldn't really roam in time, and then Kennen also being pushed to tower made it so that we couldn't really, you know, cover it. So, oh well, it's a bit of lack of communication, but, you know, the team is still kind of new, I suppose, and kinks need to be sorted out. Anyway, go my first back. Wasn't terrible that I lost that little trade out, I suppose. She's taken my wraiths. She did clear the red for me, or she left one of them little things up, but she'll have to base relatively soon as well, I would imagine, so it's not the end of the world. I'm heading bot lane. Now, you'll notice Kog'Maw is in this game, and I set my eyes on this Kog'Maw, I remember, in this game. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit, just so you can see, hopefully, the full thing. I think Fi is thinking to bait them in. He's got Cleanse or something, or I think he may have forgotten that he has Cleanse, or he might have had Barrier, I'm not really sure. But anyway, going in for the little gank, you can see how much damage I do early. Both of them flash on top of Fi, which is idiotic. I'm going to say that flat out right now. Is that I remember this game, these people recognized Fi, and they were, I don't know, they were being trolly, I suppose. I kind of just wanted to set their sights on killing him, but to burn 2 flashes when they would have maybe survived. At least one of them would have survived, but to give up 2 kills for the first blood, I don't know. Fi will also get back to lane with not much lost. You know, Kog'Maw didn't even get the kill. Fiddle got it, so I don't know. That was just kind of poor play, I think, by the enemy team. Moving down to mid lane, seeing what we can do, if anything, on this Ezreal. We do have to be fairly careful. Now, Elise is moving in also to the general area. I do have red buff on her, but I think she still is going to do fairly well. She's only got 8 AP. She's got her boots. she is going to be quicker than me, so quite annoying to deal with a very fast Elise. Anyway, I'm going to just jump over to the Wraith camp, pick that up, and then probably look for another gank. Now, obviously, I did not clear out the Wraith camp, as I did not know that she only left one, so well played to the Elise. She's counter-juggled me on that Wraith camp for a couple minutes. It doesn't really matter a huge amount, but it's a fair, well played, I guess. I did pick up the double kill, so that does, probably put me ahead, I'd imagine, of this Elise right now. If we actually look into the gold tab, I've got 1800. Yeah, she's got just below 1300, so I'm way ahead of the Elise's gold right now, even though she's farming a little bit better. Go back to base, gonna probably buy a few items, buy my ruby crystal, and buy my boots. So yeah, quite a lot of nice items being spent right now in my inventory. Elise is looking... The one thing I actually have to say about this Elise is I play Elise obviously a fair amount, and she's looking for very big invades against the Jarvan. Now yes, she did okay against that little trade against me early, but she will not win a trade against me right now. So I don't really know why she's always looking for these little invades. It's a bit odd, to be honest. Now I know she's kind of at race, we saw her go around, but I'm just going to cover the mid lane right now. Get probably a bit more XP than I would in race anyway. Ezreal comes down. I do throw my E over there to see if I could steal the big Wraith, but no, she does finish it in time, and she's still doing that a little bit of counter-jungling. So, counter-jungling is always good, but if it's not going to have a huge impact on the jungler, then it's kind of pointless, and right now it's not having a massive impact on me. She's not that far ahead of CS. I've already got 2 kills on her, so yeah, it's not doing that much. Anyway, I probably will just go over to Wolves, and this game, I remember, is one of them games that I kind of just camp the bot lane because it's a Cogmore in the end of the day. Unfortunate little trade there. They do actually lose that trade out to a Cogmore. People kind of forget how much damage a Cogmore will actually do early game. It is a considerable amount. I'm going to start the blue buff and, do as best I can. Going to give it over to Orianna because obviously Orianna loves blue buff and it works very, very well with her. So just going to quickly do this. Ball on me, and she'll just clear it any second. I think from here I may go to the bot lane, as I did delay my red, so it won't be up for quite a little bit. So maybe we can try and look for a kill onto the Cogmore. I love this gank here. I love standing here. Nobody wards this bush, and you can't even get vision of it if you have one in river. So any second, I probably will jump onto this Cogmore, and we'll look for the fight. He did hit level 6, which is unfortunate. So here comes the fight. Moving in. Unfortunately, well, we're going to try and do it any second. Fi hopefully may live. I think he's still living, and he should go down. Yep, there we go. Killing spree for me, and Fi managed to live. Fi also got an assist there, so that's actually very, very good in general. Elise, on the opposite side, has done a red buff, and now he's moving over to do her blue. So this will give me time probably to just go over to my red buff and just pick that up. If not, if they do try to come for the invade, I am very strong right now. So yeah, I probably would just generally win that trade. Now here's another mistake by this Elise. She's rushed Sorcerer Boots. This is really bad. She's far too squishy. She'll do some damage, sure, but she's way, way, way too squishy. Now we're kind of predicting that she's going to be around in this area. I remember on comms we kind of thinking, yeah, she's going to be here. So I threw a ward over there, and I know she's here. I know she's here right now. So you can see Orianna is grouping, and you can see Kennen's grouping. So we just kill her. It's that simple. The thing with invading, if you do it too much, it becomes obvious. It becomes something that is like, yeah, she's invading, let's just go kill her. And so many people fall into this trap. They think, oh, I'm a jungler, I must invade. You don't. I invade every now and then. Counter jungling, it's probably something I need to improve on, but it's not something I need 100% to do, because a lot of the time, if I secure my own jungle, if I get my ganks in, that's enough. I don't need to worry about the enemy camp, like the enemy jungle camps. It's out of my mind. So I'm even more ahead of the Elise right now. She doesn't have double buffs. Well, I don't even have a buff myself, but it doesn't really matter. My Orianna got double buffs. Their double buffs or any buffs are off the map completely. So we're 2 buffs up on them, and I'm 3 kills above the Elise, and she has died. So yeah, this is kind of what I say. If she didn't counter jungle the race as much as she did, then maybe we wouldn't have thought, oh, she's going to not come my red. But because she is in that mentality to do that, it was kind of obvious she was coming. Anyway, I'm going to look for the same gank again. As you can see, it's not warded again, so they don't know I'm here. Fiddle is level 6. There's an ultimate coming down, so this is a bit of trouble. Moving in from the side, I'm going to see if we can just pick up a couple of kills. And with my ultimate, Fi gets one of them, and we're moving in for the Cogmore. Unfortunately, he doesn't go down to Fi. I kind of muck up my combo there, but it kind of worked. So I'm on a rampage right now. Elise is looking for the dive onto Fi. So I'm moving in from the side and knock up into tower range. And there's the kill for me. So there's another double kill for me. So I'm 502 right now. Quite a big score. Even more pushing ahead of the Elise. Now, again, I will emphasize, do not rush Sorcerer Boots on Elise. It's really dumb. You're way too squishy. If she had her Ancient Golem there, or the build for it, or just like the health, she may have survived that turret hit. Because I was low health, I was not going to chase her. I just thought, okay, if I get the knock up, then maybe the tower can kill her. And that's what happened. If she had more health and not squishy Sorcerer Boots, then yeah, then she might have survived. Now, don't get me wrong, Sorcerer Boots are a great item for Elise, but just not the first item. Anyway, moving back into the game, well, I've got my Ancient Golem now. I've obviously got my tier 1 boots, and now I'm starting to build my Aegis of the Legion. Very good item. I rate it very highly. I'm not really sure what it's going to be in Season 4, because all the clips that we've seen, all the screenshots from different games of the testing phase, I don't think we've seen one Aegis or Locket. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, what's happened to it, or what are they replacing it with, if anything. So yeah, again, I'm going to go down to the bot lane. Now, one thing I have to say about jungling, if something works for you, keep doing it. Keep doing it, especially if it's a Cogmore. This is the whole point. Cogmore is one of the easiest champions to camp, as he has no escape. Anyway, going in again for another gank. Going in any second, trying to kill this Fiddle, use my ultimate straight away, and manage just to pick him up, get Fi another kill, and I think we'll just move our way out. As you can see, the Elise, already at half health, just come into the fight. She's super squishy. I'm not going to really point it out anymore, because you'll know it by now. You'll know not to do that. And anyway, you're going to push the tower. Anyway, Orianna as well manages to kill Ezreal. You can see over the right his health is very, very low. But he does manage to get the kill, so well played. We are actually looking for a little thingy here. But unfortunately, yeah, it didn't really happen. Missed the hook, and then I'll probably just manage to get my way out. So yeah, not great. Wasted flash by Thresh, but occasionally that may happen. As, you know, getting a surprise hook with a flash is always a really good thing to do. Anyway, I am basing on a Vision Ward right now, but they can't really get to me. Fi is covering the lane while CSing, and I have got Fi back into this game quite well. He is doing very well for himself. He's nearly even on CS with the Cogmore, and he has actually got 2 kills instead of Cogmore's 1. I've just gone back to base. Haven't really bought anything extra apart from a Vision Ward, as from memory, we're probably looking to do Dragon relatively soon. Orianna has managed to kill Ezreal, now 2-0-0 with her Zhonya's, and then our bot lane is fairly strong as well. And with me being very strong, obviously 503, yeah, I'm ready to do Dragon. Anyway, going to give the blue buff over to Orianna, and then maybe go over to the Dragon and just pink it, see what we can do. The enemy, I believe, yep, the enemy have a pink ward on it, so I'll just be clearing out their pink ward for mine. Here we go, and now we're going to start the Dragon up. So fairly standard Dragon attempt. Elise, I don't think, yeah, look at Elise's health. She's dying from jungle creeps basically. So yeah, she's not in a great situation to contest this at all. She is actually moving over into this kind of area, as they do know we're doing it. And yeah, one thing, well, she kind of cocoons it, which is a bit odd. I do kind of a weird smite because I expected Fi maybe to hit it once more, but he kind of backed out, which is fine. We managed to secure it anyway. And I'm probably going to just rotate over to my red. Maybe while doing just some camps on the way, yeah, I start doing wolves and just farming up a little bit more. So Jarvan is a champion that I think most people should be able to play in the jungle. His main thing is decision making. Now, one thing I also want to point out is Orianna just killed Ezreal's tower in mid. And this is what I mean by AD carries don't really work in mid lane if they're up against a good player. And our whole point of an AD carry mid lane is to push the tower really quickly and get tower. That's the whole point of the whole lane. And if an Orianna beats an Ezreal to getting tower, like this, it's nearly full health. He hasn't even damaged it. So it just doesn't really work against a good player. Like against a bad player or a not as well skilled player, it may work. If someone will allow the AD carry to poke them down, get them out of lane, and then get the turret, yeah, that works for an AD mid laner. But when you get to like diamond level, people don't allow that to happen. Elise is looking for a gank onto the mid lane, so Orianna has to be fairly careful. I would say he's very overextended right now, seeing that, yeah, he's no wards, etc. But he's just going deep onto the Ezreal. Now, they can't even do anything. The Elise is too weak, And yeah, look at that damage. And they're both nearly dead. So 2v1 nearly. He may have actually been able to pick up a kill if he had more mana. But yeah, well played to Orianna. Being overextended, but managed to come out actually better than the other two. Anyway, I'm heading way down bottom lane, seeing if we can kill the Cogmore again. Have picked up myself the Aegis of the Legion now. With Thresh, it's so good engaged. So here we go, going to ride the Lantern. Unfortunately, it was a little bit too much. Maybe it was a bit too obvious with a Thresh running after them. But yeah, we're probably just going to start sieging this tower, I would imagine. It's probably the best thing to do right now. Dragon isn't up for quite some time, and we can just get turret pressure on. Kog'Maw was thinking of doing the double golems, but he doesn't have enough time. He's just going to be clearing up these little minions. Tower is nearly dead, so I'm just going to tank it and then jump on their faces. So there we go. Got the Kog'Maw, got his flash. I think Fiddle even may have flashed as well, and then I've just flashed out the way of the Cocoon. We'll maybe looking for a re-engage. At least goes very, very low from Fi's EQ combo. And maybe we're still looking, I'm not entirely sure. Ezreal was thinking of coming down where Orianna is coming down. So we'll have to see kind of what happens. At least kind of just waiting in this bush. I don't really know what for. But it kind of, they go in a bad position and we're managing to kill the Kog'Maw. I just get the combo on top of the Kog'Maw and then kill the Fiddle straight away. And then try to run for my life onto the Kog'Maw. Boom. Unfortunately, I do go down. First death of the game, making me 6-1-4. Unfortunately, somehow 4 paws died to their Renekton up top lane. Renekton obviously being a very strong champion. So yeah, it's not really an issue, you know, dying to a Renekton. He's super strong, and he's, well, I would probably rate Renekton as the best top laner right now. Now here's one thing, I was kind of shouting on communications like, no, don't do that, because you just get auto-attacked to death, and that's kind of what happened to Thresh. Kind of a little derp moment there. But it's okay. I think everybody's just going to start backing out. Thor is looking for a kill, maybe, onto the Ezreal or something. But they do just throw a ward down. But you're about to see, look how squishy this Elise is. She's still trying to build AP. She's still trying to build damage, which is really dumb. She kind of should have recognized a little bit earlier that, oh, I'm taking too much damage. I'm supposed to be maybe a tank for my team, or relatively tanky, and I'm not. So, yeah, anyway, Caitlyn ult comes down, Elise tanks it. With Spider Form, obviously does give her a little bit more armor, so that will help her out. Unfortunately, that wasn't a great Orianna ult, so they do probably have to run for their lives. I think they may get out. I don't see them dying anytime soon, so, yeah, I think they're okay. Anyway, if we go over to what I'm doing right now, because I hasn't really been doing much, that's kind of why I haven't showed myself for the past couple of minutes or seconds, whatever it has been. I'm coming over for the Renekton, and we're going to try and pick up the kill on him, and here we go. He's used his slice and dice, and he has used his flash, so he has nowhere to go. Throw my ultimate down, or the, you know, the wall back down, and move in for the kill. I'm tanking the turret, and there we go. Got the kill onto the Renekton for 4 paws, and then we're probably just going to take top tower. I love jumping from these kind of ledges into these bushes as nobody wards them. And I always ward them when I'm in bot lane or top lane. But I don't know, it's just something that people don't do. And we're going to do a bit of turret damage, but then probably let the minions take over, I'd imagine, any second. Or maybe we don't, maybe we just simply want the tower. Yeah, we're not even creating any fuss. So we could have let the minions kind of deny them. You know, get the minions to kill the tower and let the tower kill the minions. But it's not really needed right now. So I'm just going to go back. Got my locket as well, and I got my Mo boots. I love mobility boots. Even quite late into the game, I do like mobility boots. Even late game, I really highly recommend getting mobility boots and kind of engage junglers, because that's the whole point. They're engaged junglers. With mobility boots, if you find the low speed AD carry, you can just jump on them. You can engage the whole fight because you've got mobility boots. So yeah, I always recommend getting them. Anyway, Ezra's quite low on health, so I am probably was looking for getting the kill, but I kind of just think, oh, CS, so I'll get that instead. As you can see, my damage is fairly high right now, without even building many damage items, and this is one point I want to make. To do damage on a jungler, you do not always need to have, you know, a Blade of the Ruined King on Jarvan or a Hydra on Jarvan early game. Get them if you're doing well. You don't need them early. Anyway, Drake is spawning in 2 seconds, so we're probably going to look maybe for something bottom lane. If not, just go straight to Dragon. That is warded, so both teams have the Tribush warded, and we're just moving over for the Drake, and probably simply just going to do this. So Thresh is going to be clearing out the ward with myself, and I would imagine we'll be starting it soon. Oh yeah, we just jump on the Fiddle. Nice hook, and there's a kill. So I pick up that kill. and that allows us to get dragons. So wards are, as you can see, the key thing in most games. Vision makes you get kills. Now, one thing is, we actually all coordinated the dragon, or everybody walked out of range for the Elise, so she couldn't repel onto anybody. With also that, 4 Paws actually managed to kill Renekton up top lane, so well played to 4 Paws. Managing to kill the Renekton one-on-one now, which is great. Moving on to the Ezreal. Nice Orianna ult with Jarvan ult, and there's another kill. So that Orianna ult even hit Ezreal after he flashed. So yeah, really well played. Now you can see again how squishy this Elise is. She's gone for a Haunting Guise before she's finished the Spirit Stone item, which is very unique. I've not really seen that build, so that's a new one for me. Kog'Maw is looking to do a bit of damage, but kind of just gets chunked by the Orianna. We're looking maybe to siege a little bit, but then Fiddle comes and makes it a 3v2, so we just decide to back out. But nice damage by Orianna. Again, moving in for the engage. Got the flash, but do knock up the Kog'Maw, and makes him extremely low, maybe even looking for the kill any second. Kog'Maw does flash, and here comes the ult. Kills the Elise anyway because she's way too squishy. We're looking now for the tier 2 mid turret, seeing what we can do. I was looking around the back if I could see the Kog'Maw or anything, just pick up a nice sneaky kill, but he does go a little bit too deep into their base. So we're just going to pick up this tier 2 mid tower nice and free, and maybe just back off or continue to siege. Thresh does do another flash hook, which, yeah, it didn't really work out this time either. But I do have to say, Snozy actually has started to do really nice flash hooks. Some of them really are good. And you'll probably see if you've seen the stream highlight one, that was, I think, just a really nice Thresh hook. So he's landing really good ones. Anyway, I'm going to rotate probably for the enemy blue. I have I think it's up, so I'm just going to head over there. Ezreal, I think, also wants this blue buff, so he's trying to do his best to go over here. He's doing wolves on his way, which if he didn't do wolves, he may have made it in time, but I did just smite it out and escape. So Ezreal is going to go in blue buff, thinking it's up, and it's not. So there's a nice blue buff for myself. I'm going to rotate back into mid lane, because the only problem was I didn't have much mana. Now with blue buff, I'm fine. So fine a Renekton. He does ultimate straight away, so we bait out the ultimate, and if we can just escape right now, or do a re-engage, which we're doing, nice Orianna ult, nice Kennen ult, and then a Jarvan ult on top of them. So have some fun with that, I suppose. Fiddle is in the middle of a team fight, but not really doing much damage right now, so he just goes down straight away. A little fight's coming up here, but there's not much to say. You know, very good team fight by my team. Good re-engage by 4 Paws on Kennen. A nice kill by Fi on that Caitlyn, and we're just going to push for the inhibitor. So yeah, well played to my team. I would say this game is part and parcel of two things. I have said it quite a bit, but they're at least, well, they don't really have a tank. They have a Renekton that is a bit confused. They have a Renekton that went Sunfire and then Brooder, which he's not tanky enough, because you can do that if you have another champion that can tank. But because he's not pure tank, we just kill him, and then their next thing, they're not tanky at all. If the Elise was tanky and then the Renekton was tanky, then getting damage on Renekton after Sunfire or even before Sunfire would be worth it. But because he's their only tank right now, it doesn't really work. If they had a Ancient Golem Locket Elise combined with that build on Renekton, they would have done really well. That would have been a lot of damage and worked really, really well. We're going to just go over to my red buff, pick this up nice and quickly, and probably in the next few minutes we're looking to close out the game, being the score 21-9, with us being 12,000 gold in the lead, with the enemy team not actually having any turrets right now, with us actually having 5. So yeah, well played to my team, gone fairly good this game. Now you can see that I've started to build my damage. Yay, damage. As I mentioned, I love setting myself up tanky, and I think it's the most important thing to do. Set yourself up tanky for your team, and then you can kind of focus on yourself. Now being 8-1-10 kind of does allow me to build damage, where I would argue people that aren't as strong as me right now maybe just continue building tanky. But picked up my Brooder, and then I picked up my pickaxe, so that'll probably build into a Last Whisperer or a Hydra. Anyway, going onto the Renekton right now. He is, you know, fairly tanky, but I don't have millions of damage, and then I just move in for the kill. So there's a nice kill onto the Renekton by me and Thresh, and we may look to do Baron or something along them lines in the near future. Just going to push the top lane for now, though, with Kennen and Thresh. Seeing what we can do. Maybe spread the enemy a little bit. You can see Fi on the minimap down bottom lane just pushing the wave, as well as Thor on Orianna probably heading mid or something along them lines. Anyway, we are looking, well, we kind of know that they're on their way because it would be fairly obvious. So if they kind of walk straight into here, they would pretty much just die. Do a little bit of a disengage. Kennen walks right. I get the lantern out. and then Fi right now is having a free tier 2 bot lane. So that was good rotation by us, good disengage, and manages to get us a nice free tier 2. Unfortunately, Thor does miss his Orianna ult again. Now, you'd probably be surprised that in Diamond, yeah, people do miss ults, etc. It does happen. It's League of Legends. Anyway, Elise is moving into an area. Does Kakumi. I'm doing a bit of a dance right now. Why not? You know, have a bit of fun. And then probably we're going to look for the inhib or something relatively soon. Maybe just a team fight to finish the game. Anyway, I do just jump out. And then I'm probably just going to push top lane. So right now we have a three-way split. We have our mid lane, that is Kennen and Orianna. They are actually engaging, but you can see that the Renekton is just dying. That's their tank, and he's dying very, very quickly. Then the Elise is, I don't know what she's supposed to be this game, but again, they are 3v2ing. Look at that damage on Kennen. Just gets rid of their tank, gets rid of their Kog'Maw, and then their supposed Elise, whatever, has died as well. So that was out without me. Or that might have even been without Fi. Yeah, I don't even think Fi was in that fight. Maybe he got a Caitlyn ultimate down, but that was about it. So, anyway, that was this game, guys. Yeah, full pause is legendary now. So, anyway, thanks for watching. This was Jarvan Jungle. Hope you guys enjoyed it. More videos to come out soon. If you want, you know, any junglers you want to see commentaries of, say so in the comments below. That's kind of what the question of today is. Any junglers you want to see, put it in the comments below, and I will try and make that happen if it's a vast majority. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.